Hi, welcome back. It's still Mermay, and ever since I started following Aqua Valkyrie on Instagram, I had wanted one of these pretty mermaids myself. And when friends of me then sold their asleep Eidolon Dione, I was hooked. Look at her pretty face and that tail, so pretty. She has a human body and a fish tail that can be switched for the legs pretty easily. I love the translucent resin, but I wasn't a big fan of the glitter, so I was very happy to see that it was just on top of the resin and not encased in it. I immediately made plans for her in my head, but for these, the glitter had to go. So, time to disassemble. I then brought out a big bowl, a toothbrush and a lot of nail polish remover. It took quite a lot of scrubbing, but all the glitter came off and left me with a very pretty frosty resin. I then decided to make the transition from scales to skin a bit less sudden, so I got out my masking fluid and started painting a scale pattern on the lower part of the waist. This will prevent the body from taking the dye that I was gonna use. And now, the fun part. When the soup was simmering, I dipped all the parts of the tail until I was happy with the color. I gradually added more violet to the dye so I would get a nice gradient effect on the tail. As for the tummy, I kept dipping it to get a smooth transition of the color. And then my camera gave up. Here you can see the gradient on the skin. I used some rubbing alcohol to get rid of the excess dye, and you can once again see why this step is important. When I was done, I removed the masking fluid by just rubbing it off the resin. And it worked perfectly. Look at those crisp lines in the dye. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda love the frosted resin, but it also gave me a bit of a candy vibe. So I decided to give the whole tail a top coat of gloss mixed with iridescent powder. Also did the same on the waist part, obviously. So now I had a shimmery, wet look, but it also looked kinda boring. So I decided to give me some extra work and paint the single scales with another coat of gloss mixed with different iridescent colors. It gives a bit of a stained glass look, and while I wasn't sure of it at first, I really liked it in the end. Now, I wanted these specific colors on her because I bought this beautiful gradient hair from my friend Kim a while ago, and so I dyed her tail specifically to match it. I will spare you all the details of how I made the wig, because wig making is a bit of a pain to record, and Also because I already have a tutorial on my channel on how I make my wigs. I want to redo it in the future, but again, it's a pain in the butt to record, so we will see. For the style, I collected some mermaid hair ideas and I decided to go with a braided look for her. Something like this, but, well, less pretty, obviously. Why less pretty, you ask? Because braiding these fiber is a hell of work and I envy everyone who can make it look effortless and good. I mean, just look at me struggling just to separate the hair. And even more braiding it. It was messy. And pulling the braid apart in the end did not help in making it look better. Weird, I know. So, obviously, I redid it off camera. And it still looks kinda eh. So, maybe I'll redo it in the future. Who knows? And finally, my favorite part, face-up time. Her original face-up is super cute and pretty, but I have a hard time bonding with dolls I haven't painted myself, so it had to go. Did I say face-up time is my favorite time? I guess I lied. At least when it comes to lashes. It started out okay, but then quickly became a mess, because I haven't painted in front of the camera in a while, so I'm completely out of practice, and I hated it, so it had to go again. Lower lashes are the thing I fuck up the most, so I start with it, which makes cleanup a lot easier. I redid them off camera because who needs practice, am I right? Now, the same basic steps as always, starting with some eyeliner, then blushing the cheeks, blocking in the eyebrows, erasing the eyebrows. More frustrating hair painting. Yes, I swear, I like doing face-ups. Some contouring. And then I decided I want makeup. I thought this look would go well with the hair and tail, so I blocked in the colors with my pencils. So far so well, it didn't look terrible. I added some white highlights and some blue blush around the nose. I went on to blush the lips and add some lines. I could have spared myself the work because I later painted over it with a pearly pink, but you know, hindsight. I wanted to give this girl a more fantasy look, so I added a lot of pearly shimmer that mostly got eaten up by the sealant later on, which was a bit of a bummer. I then came back to the eye makeup and decided to go all in and add the glitter from the picture. I'm still unsure whether I like it or not. There's a bit of regret in me, not gonna lie. I'm sorry for not showing you how I painted this face tattoo. Most of the footage was my head getting in the way, as you can still kinda see in this short recording. But I just sketched it first with a white pencil and then painted over it, which took way too much time, but I like the result. As for gluing in lashes, I apply a coat of tacky glue with a toothpick, and while that starts drying, I take my lashes and curl them around my tweezers. I try to get the shape as close to the eye shape as possible. And then, when the glue starts getting transparent, I put the lashes in and gently press them into the glue. Don't do it like me, and please use a toothpick. It's a lot less likely that you will scratch your fresh face up like this. And now I just glossed the lips and the waterline, and I think we are done. Finally, I finished this stupid video. Selina has been finished since October 21, and I always wanted to upload her in Mermay, but there was always something getting in the way, and well, here she is. Literally last second. I'm super happy with how her tail came out, and I hope I can take some more pictures of her this summer. Thanks so much for watching and for sticking by, I guess. And we will see again. Who knows when? Bye!